bees are dying, and our survival depends on them. That's why 4RB's created the Pure Wave Cell, a breakthrough quantum device proven to help hives thrive, doubling colonies and boosting honey production naturally. Every jar of our Pure Wave honey fuels this mission, supporting beekeepers worldwide. Visit 4RBs.com. That's the number 4RBs.com, and use code WITF for 20% off. Save the bees! Save us all!
Where in the Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone actually.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Friday with us talking crazy. Not TikToking tonight, but we're actually going to get into some news. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Cecil will be joining us a little bit later, and then around 8 o'clock, well, probably about 15 till 8, 15 to 10, we'll go into a short break. And then we've kind of conglomerated. So we're going to get into starting this week at 8 p.m. Eastern every Friday. You're going to get an extra hour of all of us. And we're going to flip topics from news to all things strange and crazy. Everything from esoteric subjects to maybe some true crime sprinkled in here and there, to conspiratorials and stuff we don't always get to talk about. It's an exciting thing.
Yep. It's going to be awesome.
But for the sake of Friday Night Live, what kind of feel good you got?
Well, I don't know if I feel good about this one, but I'm going to read it because it's here. And so Tom Brady says his dog is a clone. So Tom Brady's dog, Junie, is a genetic clone of his family's previous pet, a pit bull mix named Lua, who passed away in December of 2023. The cloning process was facilitated by Colossal Biosciences, a biotechnology company in which Brady is an investor. Using a non-invasive blood sample collected from Lua before her death, the company created Junie through somatic cell nuclear transfer, a technique that involves inserting the donor's DNA into an egg cell to produce an embryo. This method allowed the replication of Lua's physical appearance and genetic makeup, resulting in a puppy that closely resembles the original and looks in some traits, though environmental factors mean the clone's personality and experiences will differ. The announcement came on November the 4th, coinciding with the Colossal Biosciences acquiring Viagon Pets and Equine, a firm known for similar celebrity pet clonings. Brady described the process of giving his family a second chance to share life with a dog like Lua, emphasizing how much animals mean to him and his loved ones. Cloning services like this typically cost around $50,000, and while the technology has advanced, experts do note that clones may face health challenges such as higher disease susceptibility and potentially shorter lifespans compared to naturally born animals.
That's wild.
That's insane. Because
he's invested in it?
Yes,
too?
He is an investor in this company. And in my personal opinion, you're never going to be able to replace anything or anybody by cloning. Because
yeah. That almost seems like
the sixth day.
Worse than a puppy mill, like.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not, because, you and I don't have $50,000 to invest in getting Sunday or Luna, done. And my other thing is there are so many animals in pounds.
Oh yeah,
You-
I fully believe that people should rescue if possible.
yes.
As a first option, there's just so many dogs out there that need people.
Yep.
That would be great companions.
Absolutely.
Hey Landa, hey Evan.
Hey, Evan. Hey, Landa. So
Um,
exactly, and that's, I'll be honest with you, for years and years, we used to breed pit bulls. I mean, so like I said, I've been on both ends of it, but ever since I got my first rescue, every dog since her has been a rescue
Yep.
because they are just phenomenal animals.
Yeah, we're in a similar boat.
Yeah. Hey,
Very
Crystal,
similar.
did you ever see the movie Multiplicity with Michael Keaton, where he clones himself because he doesn't have enough time to do the things he wants? So his clone looks exactly like him, but he's this like tough, outdoorsy guy that does, work around the house and stuff, woodwork. Well, he decides he's got too much to do and needs some time for himself. So then he clones himself, and then you end up with a gay version. Well, then the gay version decided he didn't have enough time, so he made a copy of himself, and he ended up being special. So, yeah, Crystal, that's how I would kind of see that too.
Yeah.
On this portion of the show, we talk about news stories and stuff that may fly under the radar.
Yeah, not non-political news, but strange. We try to, if there's any strange news, we try to grab that.
Yep.
But usually stuff that gets buried under politics, we do that for 45 minutes. And then this week, Evan, you're here for kind of a special time because at 8, so we're going to go on a little bit of a break, 10-minute break around. Yeah, totally. We've talked about the 3-eye atlas a few times actually, like with it changing color and stuff.
Yeah. I saw something this week about they felt like it was changing a shape, that it no longer looks like an actual comet.
Yeah. Well, if I don't know if you saw, this has been making its circles on social media, but there's a lady that found this thing out in the middle of a desert that looks like obsidian glass that fell from the sky and like speared the earth.
Is that the one that didn't leave any kind of burns and stuff? Or is
No, this is completely different. Actually, I probably won't be able to find it quickly, but maybe I can grab it between shows or something.
Okay.
But yeah, people are speculating. They're like, "Oh man, is this some kind of probe from the Atlas?" Because there's the I don't know how deep or familiar you are with who broke the news of 3-eye Atlas 7. It's kind of suspicious. The Harvard physicist's background, that actually, if you Google something to the effect of like Harvard physicist says 3-eye Atlas is okay, well you're already familiar. I don't need to say anything then. He's very suspicious. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. We're just like, what's really going on that they're having to tell people that aliens are headed toward the earth.
Yeah.
And
what are they covering up this week?
Yeah, you're talking to people that believe in aliens, but as soon as the government came out and was like, there's human biologics living in the ocean, we were just kind of like, okay. Okay,
right.
Now.
So all these things we believed all these years, and yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know you submitted. I want you to hit the electricity one.
Yeah, that one just kind of ticked me off.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we have plenty of electricity in this country, more than enough for everybody without question, but your bill keeps going through the roof. So a recent survey of over 1,400 U.S. households reveals that 2/3 of Americans believe AI is already increasing their electricity bill, with most unwilling to accept more than a $20 monthly hike. Tech companies are investing $300 to $400 billion in AI infrastructure this year, equivalent to over 2% of our GDP, driving the sharpest electricity demand growth since World War II. The 5-year load forecasts have surged from 23 gigawatts in 2022 to 128 in 2025, with data centers expected to consume 12% of U.S. electricity by 2030, up from 4.4% in 2023.
That's crazy.
I know. Residential power prices have risen nearly 40% since January of 2021, and in regions like PJM, capacity costs have spiked 11-fold in 2 years, adding $9.3 billion in utility bills annually, or 10 to 21 per household monthly, largely due to data center demand.
Yeah. Well,
So
we've talked about the one, I think it's going in Wisconsin, that's going to use more power than everybody in the state put together.
right, and that's fine. If they want to use the power, they should be paying for the difference, though.
Agreed.
And should be compensating where they are taking away, like the water we talked about in Texas. They're already using water to the point where people can't use their water to full capacity. So
yes, and we've talked about this piece of it too, but just it seems like everything that they've told us to do over the years to help reduce our impact and reduce the amount of electricity we're using, to the fact that like we don't have normal light bulbs anymore because they told us that we were taking steps toward the better, but there's never been a step that's lowered my electricity bill. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is gradually went up since I've paid it.
And and the thing is, where I'm at, we're on a co-op. So every year I get a refund check. It may be from 91, 2003, and 2016. They usually have 2 or 3 years that they're pulling, and sending out refunds. The most it's ever been is $120. But that still hasn't kept my light bill from going up, because every month I get a statement from my power company saying, hey, this time last year you used this much. You've already reached that this year at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's usually 2 weeks into the month, I've already met where I was a year ago. And that's bull.
And you just reminded me of something that I didn't get in here because it just came out after I sent this out. The proposal. Sorry, I'm trying to look this up in real time.
No, you're good. I'm actually looking for one specific that I saw that you put in here.
So by 2028, due to lower taxes from petroleum-based sources, the UK and all of their infinite wisdom, I mean, they're just on a roll. Like, we've been talking about them for months. They came out, and the news, I think, broke yesterday that this is in stone now, is that they're people who drive electric cars, and I think this starts by 2028, people who drive electric cars are now going to have to pay so much per electric mile that they drive on their cars in taxes every year.
Really?
Yes. So tell me how that's helping anything, like to tax people for wanting to do the right thing or what they believe is the right thing, which, we've always been skeptical of the way that the electric cars are built currently. Not to say that there couldn't be a good alternative, but everybody who's made one usually gets killed.
Right.
But yes, they are going to start charging people per electric mile in the UK. And this says, which I don't want to, I'll quote it, but I don't know if this is true or not. It says the current proposal is 3 pence per mile. Which, as you know, once a tax is in place, it just continues to go up and up and up and up and up.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. And and that's the bad thing about it too, is the fact that, like I said, I mean, when I was a kid, we're burning a hole in the ozone layer. I mean,
yes. We're going to the next ice age.
Yes.
Like the acid rain.
Well, now that hole has fixed itself. And I'm a firm believer climate change does happen. It is one of those things that goes in cycles throughout time.
the climate does change. You know, I think they found the silver bullet with that wording. Like finally,
Yes, but the thing is, I do believe that we as humans impact it, especially when you're putting up all these huge AI data centers.
the AI centers, and nobody ever wants to say it, but China is a huge problem
Yes.
for that sort of thing, and they've never committed to do nothing.
Yeah.
Like so. I don't know. Like you see in some of these countries, remember that video that we played of the huge mountain of tires that was on fire?
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, well, my paper straw can't
Yeah.
combat that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. And and like I said, with some things, I mean, I really do try to lower my footprint within reason. I mean,
Mhm.
I have compost pile, we recycle.
Well, that's beneficial to you,
Exactly.
like not just
Exactly.
for the sake of like, I'm saving the world. You know what I mean?
And
Like
I do know I'm one person, so I cannot do it alone. But like I said,
people
I
are,
do.
some people are delusional when it comes to that kind of
Oh, yeah.
stuff, though.
Oh yeah.
And that's
But
what they want, though.
oh yeah, but like I said, I mean, I would think somebody using an electric car would be going in the right direction, for helping.
Yeah,
So,
Evan.
but then you don't get it nearly as many kickbacks from the electric car manufacturers as you do the oil and gas industry.
Exactly.
So,
Let's see.
and
Oh,
kind of, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, because that was what I was looking for is, because it's in the same vein as there was an explosion of toxic ammonia leak in my hometown 2 days ago. And the thing about it is I had 3 nephews working there when it happened.
That's
Thank
crazy.
God, they're fine. My niece lives less than half a mile from it. She has been evacuated and still can't go home. And for 2 reasons. One, they're afraid that there's still residue that they may have another explosion. But 2, there's this huge ammonia cloud that they don't know what way it's going to go. I mean, so.
Yeah, I saw it as like a big pillar in the sky.
Yes. And they recommended that everyone within like 30 miles of the chemical plant, evacuate. Well, that'd be most of the town. The reality is, I've got a brother-in-law that's right up the hill from it. He's like, well, if it happens, it happens. And I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
But, I mean, and it's this, to my knowledge, is the first time this has happened at that particular chemical plant. It's been there longer than I've been alive. But so it triggered a toxic anhydrous ammonia cloud. And like I said, they evacuated, kept people sheltering in place. They closed down tons of businesses because that's a pretty, it's not in town, but it's right down from a populated area of town. Like I said, my niece is a half a mile from there and she's in a huge apartment complex. They had people in from local, state, federal, hazmat teams. They did contain the leak.
Well, at least they didn't pull a East Palestine and just burn it or something.
Exactly. To my knowledge, unless it has changed today, they have had no human losses.
That's
and
great.
That in and of itself is phenomenal.
Have they figured out what caused it? Like exactly?
No, they just keep saying a leak, but not where the leak was, or if it's something that they could completely confine and fix without any more problems. Which if they're still telling, them, oh, you can't come home, because I'd asked my husband, because it's his brother-in-law that lives up the street. And I'm like, I'm surprised his daughter hasn't gone over there and made him leave. And he goes, she can't get to him because they've got everything blocked, and he's literally, when I say up the hill, there's no way to get there without going right next to that plant to get to his house.
Yeah, that's wild. It's crazy. It keeps getting crazier, and I don't know whether it's because we look into this stuff now all the time, but this seems like a constant reoccurrence of some huge chemical spill somewhere in the U.S.
Right. Did you get in about the plane crash up in your area?
No. But there was a plane, I think it was a UPS plane that crashed in Louisville this week. I think 12 people died, and
13 was what it was just a little
13.
while ago.
Okay, and some of them were kids, I think.
Mhm.
Which I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. Like maybe it hit residential.
I think because there was a long streak of
Yeah,
fire from where it's
I know it got
hit.
caught on camera, like
Yeah,
lots of cameras, but
yeah.
yeah,
So
that one didn't sneak into the list. Um,
yeah, because that was like that was like the day before, I think.
yeah,
That
the UPS one, Evan.
yeah.
Um, Initially, they said it didn't kill that many people, but it's just been
Mhm.
going up. It had to have scooted into a residential area
Yeah,
or
and
something.
they said that there were still like 3 people unaccounted for that they've been looking for. So, it's possible that that number's going to go up a little bit.
Let's see.
So, I saw where Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has been
Oh
summoned.
yeah, the Epstein stuff.
Yeah, he's been summoned by U.S. Congress.
Charges filed for what, Evan? Do you know? Sorry, you can go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, so like I said, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, like I said, formerly known as Prince Andrew, because his family has cut all ties with, they even made him leave his home that he's been living in.
He was a scapegoat.
Yes.
I mean, there's no way that people didn't know he was a pedophile and
right. Well,
or like, a sex trafficker.
Right there, it's amazing how nobody's hidden those pictures, Yeah. But so anyway, they have requested his appearance and subpoenaed him because there are flight logs, of him going back and forth, payments for massages, which, also makes you wonder what the depth of that relationship was.
Virginia Giuffre, I believe is how you say her last name.
Uh-huh.
She tried to get them to do that a bunch.
Uh-huh.
Like while she was still alive.
Right.
Why are they doing this after she dies and after she said she wasn't, gonna off herself or whatever? Yeah. This just seems like a not the good kind of circle jerk.
Right. And she had a book that was supposed to release like 3 weeks ago that has still not been released.
That's crazy. Yeah, yes. That's crazy.
Because like I said, they've been talking about this book because she was working with an editor before she, died. And yeah,
I'm getting myself tickled.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we can show the comments because it's going to cut into your window.
That's fine. It usually just falls like right in there. I don't know if you can see me or not.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it okay? Okay. Yeah. I just want everybody to be able to see each other's comments.
Yep. But yeah, like I said, so because I've been keeping an eye out for it because I'm going to get it. I want to read it because the editor did specify she did not name a lot of names because she still has children.
Oh yeah,
and everything. So she just wanted to make sure that they were safe. But they come on, release them.
Man, as soon as everybody was hopping it up, and then everybody gets in, and it's just like, oh, we can't do that. Yeah. And it's because everybody's involved.
Exactly. All of everybody's on the list.
Most of our politicians would go to prison or be raised in the streets.
Exactly, and fair, and that would be more than they deserved. I think they should all go to general population for about a month. Just a month. That's all you need.
Just to see what would happen.
Yep. Well, with a temporary tattoo that had a 30-day duration that said pedophile across their forehead.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I don't care who it is. I don't care where they're from, what side of the aisle, what country. If they were involved, they need to fry.
Yeah. The problem is sex trafficking is probably like $1 trillion organization.
Oh yeah.
And I've got one other article sort of related to this, but I guess Shein opened their first place in France, and they've been accused of selling childlike sex dolls.
Wow.
Which is super strange, but France's Consumer Protection Agency reported fast fashion retailer Shein. Is that how you pronounce it? Shein?
Shein, I don't know.
Um,
I go back
but
and
they-
forth with them.
They reported it to prosecutors after discovering sex dolls with childlike appearances listed for sale on its French website. The items, described in explicit sexual terms and categorized without age restrictions, were deemed to suggest a pedopornographic nature, potentially accessible to minors, violating laws on child pornography dissemination, which carries penalties up to 7 years in prison and $100,000 fine if they could find who greenlit it. Shane. Okay. I don't know. This is crazy, but the discovery followed an anonymous tip prompting an investigation into inadequate safeguards in the platform, including unfiltered pornographic content. This incident compounds prior scrutiny with this company, and they've already apparently been fined $191 million or pounds in 2025 for issues like data privacy breaches and misleading practices. So just add like pedophilia on top of that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I mean, okay, first off, there shouldn't be a market for this. But if you're going to, advertise to that, it should be in a behind a paywall.
Sex dolls, you mean?
Yes.
Like that kind of thing?
Well, or sex dolls, or especially if you're intentionally marketing to pedos. I mean, and if they have a childlike appearance, that is exactly who you're marketing to.
Well, yeah, the FBI should just set up like a IP. If we really had like a good agency, like they're listening to everybody all the time anyway. It's like we said the other day. They already know who the serial killers are. They already know who all the pedophiles are. Mm-hmm. They just choose not to act. And then, they pop like one person a quarter and is like, oh, look at us.
Yeah.
Look what we did.
Okay.
And meanwhile, that person's next door neighbor probably has like servers set up that they're not tapping into.
I know. Well, that's probably because half of them are taking advantage of the server access.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah.
And like I said, not saying that everybody's like that. I'm just saying,
Crystal.
There you go. Get a list of everybody that they ship to.
Well, and there was that. It's been a long time since we covered this, maybe like 6-8 months. But there was that cell phone company that offered to release the logistical cell phone records of everybody that visited Epstein Island, and that got real quick.
And that's it. Do you remember back 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, the hackers? What was their name?
Like Anonymous.
Some guys had raped this girl, and they started releasing information about them. Where are they?
With the vigilantes, like
right? Why have they not released the Epstein files?
I don't know.
You haven't heard Anonymous in forever.
Anonymous very well could have been like a psyop. You know what I mean? Like that very well could have been like an agency.
But I have to believe that there's a really good hacker out there that could do this.
So
do us all a favor. Okay, let me go back up to the top of the list.
There's one thing I threw in here, something that was crazy. There was a general for the IDF that went missing for a little bit, but she leaked a video. I don't know if you saw. Leaked a video of soldiers, I guess, gang raping somebody from the other side. Mm-hmm. She goes missing after she releases the footage, but then reappears, but has been placed on leave. And I think that, so let's see, she went missing, leaving a note that raised suicide fears, prompting a frantic search, but she was found on a beach and she was arrested overnight for leaking that information. Mm-hmm. And suspended from duty as the Attorney General, as the Attorney General launched a criminal probe into her leaking the video of the military gang raping people. So That's how that's going. That's how
To
the
me-
ceasefire is going.
Right. To me, she's a hero. You know, that's the kind of stuff you need to be releasing.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
either side.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, absolutely.
not
I'm
taking sides, but
Nope.
that's like we were joking about Genghis Khan and how many people's related to him,
Uh-huh.
and like that was a thing of the past. But there's literally people out here, like, I don't know, raping the losers, I guess you would say,
Yeah.
of war, which is absolutely nuts in 2025, the year of our Lord 2025. And I'm talking in full blown uniform. This wasn't like a let's wait until not and go, stalk them or whatever. I'm talking like mid battle, full uniform, just nasty stuff.
Because they're not held accountable.
No.
Yeah. And that is a huge problem, not just there, but even here when you talk about, criminals being out on the streets that should never have been out or whatever. There are no consequences. I mean, they're not scared.
I know you
of
get arrested 35 times and then go kill somebody, and they're like, "Oh, oops."
Like I said, I differentiate between mental health, but that's a totally different issue. But yes, if someone has been arrested for a violent crime, you don't let them go. And I'm sorry, let's bring on back the death penalty. Or let's use it a little more often for certain things. And for me, a pedophile should be taken out before a cold-blooded killer.
Mm-hmm.
Because
most
people that kill in the heat of the moment will never repeat that offense.
There's a video I've got that for our next free for all. There's this dude who's been wearing a ski mask on social media talking about this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's like, in other countries, they have a really good way to deal with some of this stuff is like stealing. He's like, you can steal twice because that's how many hands you have. So there's people treat this kind of stuff much differently in other countries. Mm-hmm. It's almost like we're in a de-evolution, like we reached a peak. And then we're just going down into a valley at the moment.
There's one I saw that I was like, hell yes. Where did it go? I know it was on here. Come on.
You just tell me what you want to go to next.
It's the ones that the caning.
Oh God, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So they're bringing back caning in Singapore. They're introducing mandatory whippings for scammers. So their parliament passed the criminal law on November the 4th, so 3 days ago, introducing mandatory caning as a punishment for scammers and those involved in scam syndicates amid a surge in financial fraud cases. In the last 5 years, there's been over 200,000 scam incidents, resulting in $3.7 billion in losses, making scams the most common crime in Singapore. Under the new law, individuals convicted of scams defined as cheating via remote communication, such as online impersonation, romance schemes, or e-commerce fraud, will receive at least 6 whippings of the cane, with the maximum reaching 24 whippings based on the offense's severity. Members and recruiters of scam syndicates, if aware of the criminal nature, face the same mandatory range, while scam mules who provide bank accounts or SIM cards to facilitate these will get 12 beatings. So
real consequences. You know what's going to happen if you do it.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic. Cecil.
Dollar bills.
What do you think about it, Cecil?
What's that?
There's mandatory whippings for scammers in Singapore now.
I'm down with it.
You can get whipped up to 24 times by a cane. And I imagine they're going to have like an executioner, like a big like Mr. Olympia bodybuilder with like a cane that's 12 foot tall that just
Look, when I was in high school, I had friends that played football. They had 4 football coaches, and if they made a D on a report card, they got 1 lick. If they got an F, they got 2 licks. Unless you chose a different coach to give you the licks. And it depended on who you chose was how many licks you got. Because one of them would go ta-ta-ta and be done. And the other one would like, go.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need somebody strong. Like
Yes.
you got to meet a certain physical requirement before you can administer whip.
Well,
weapons.
I mean, think about it. We all got beat as kids, and we don't go out here and do too crazy stuff unless we're like wild on the drink or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, scammers need to learn the right ways to not steal money from grannies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So beat them with sticks.
Yep.
Let's see.
It could be worse. They should use kendo sticks.
I don't know what that is.
Like the karate sticks,
Oh yeah,
like the hardwood like
Yeah,
staffs.
yeah. Just give them a few whacks with it.
Do you remember back 15, 20 years ago, some American kid was over there and did something. I forget what it was now, but it was one of those things. I think he stole something. And they had it in place. If you get caught doing this, you get caned publicly, rah, rah, rah. And of course, people over here had a meltdown because they were going to beat this kid. So they actually did a demonstration showing, this is not going to kill him. This is just punishment, and had to show how it would happen. And he didn't get out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's been beat with a broomstick if he was born before like 1998 or something.
Privet hedge has the best switches under the sun because they're real limber and they don't break and they don't bruise. They just leave little stripes. And it's like a little whip.
Well, we might have time for a short one before
the Blue Dogs of Chernobyl.
Let's hit it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and I want to share the screen on this one because it's just, they're so cute. All right. For people who don't know, there are a lot of dogs still in the containment area around Chernobyl. And in this case, some of the dogs are starting to turn blue. Like, for instance, this fine gentleman. Why am I not...
I don't know.
Blowing up. I was trying to blow it up so everybody could see better. But see how blue he is? And then that one. And those two were actually caught on film. I actually saw the news story showing those two. And since then, I've seen 300 more that are clearly AI.
Yeah, we need dogs and cats from Chernobyl, Evan.
Yep. But yeah, there last count there were over 800 dogs still at Chernobyl. But they think what has happened here is that there was a porta potty that has had a leak, and that the chemicals inside of it were actually what's causing them to turn blue. So evidently they've wallowed around in it and everything. I don't know if they like the smell or what the deal is, but
nice.
So yes, we got blue puppies running around Chernobyl now.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to see. I figure in a few weeks, if that's what it is, then they should fade back out.
Yeah. I totally thought I was only going to be on here longer because for some reason in my head I was like, it don't even start till 7:30. I go.
Yeah. So we talked to everybody about the change, and we're going to take a little bit of a break here in just a minute, and we'll be back at 8 sharp. And tonight we're going to be talking about the first Strange Frequencies episode. Is going to be about strange things in Latin America.
Yeah. So keep your ears on. Go get you some coffee.
Yeah. Throw your phone to the side
vice
for a few minutes.
Get your favorite vice, whether it be drink or smoke, and come on back at 8 o'clock.
And in the meantime, I'm going to play part of a conversation that we had with Mr. Stan Deo. We're just going to pick something different every week to play as like the break. So if there's anything you guys prefer to watch that we can play that won't get us like strikes, we'll play it. If you want to watch AI brain rot, we can play that for 15 minutes.
I still have my content from OnlyFans. Nobody's seen that. Nobody subscribed.
True.
Okay.
So we can do that.
All right. Well,
True.
I'm gonna go get a drink when you turn that on.
Yeah.
Text
Let
me
me,
when it's time to get back on.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let me get it going here.
All right.
And then I'm just going to drop us off stage while we play.
On this side
Stan.
of the garden, probably maybe 10 miles away, I could see 2 big elephants out amongst the African daisies, just having breakfast and wandering along, And it was so peaceful and so wonderful. And to be able to be there at the beginning of all this stuff, it was just humbling. I can't say it any other way. It was just amazing. It's real. And so from there, I was able to branch out into other legends and myths and put them to a real event. Now, when I talked with the Maasai prophecy keepers, with the Toga chief, both of there in Tanzania, they talked about the legends going back 55 generations of their chiefs. And they would all hold ceremony once a year there in the Garden of Eden in the Ngoro crater. It's still there. The chiefs' graves are there with stones piled on. Some of them have fig trees growing out of them. But they told about the time that they were remembering in these ceremonies when God, different names in their tongues, but basically when God came down to earth into the Ngoro crater and took the dirt and made man and then made him female. And they made it, and this the same story we see in the Garden of Eden story in Genesis. And then God left. Well, before he did, he put man and his mate out of the garden because they had violated the rules or something. But basically, I believe it was to put them out just to be on their own, to start reproducing and make lots of people, repopulate the earth, and so that God could choose out of the ensuing people that came from Adam and Eve, could choose people who would choose him of their own free will in his order of things. And it was to give you free choice to join him. Instead of creating slaves, he said, look, I'll create through Adam and Eve all these beings, and you will have the choice. I'll tell you over the ages what the rules are. And there would be people, of course, that didn't see a Bible at that time. It was they had to learn from nature and the animals and things around them about the right way to do things and not. But anyway, they basically said this is where it all started, right here. And then God, after he put man outside the garden, killed the ground himself, and God went back up and was gone. Now, a number of things after that. I mean, I figured this is really important to discover the real Garden of Eden and prove that it's not a myth. Prove it's real.
Yeah.
And so no matter what religion has formed out of all this, it gives you a foundation to say, yes, we were visited by a super being and we were created. And, now with our science and knowledge, we're starting to understand gene structures and hybrids and all kinds of stuff. And then, I said to the team, I said, well, what comes next? And, one of them said, hey, what about Atlantis, I said, you got to be kidding. You don't believe that. Oh, well, years passed and I started to find clues that popped into my life. And I thought, well, I better look into this. And did find Atlantis was part of the Eden story. Yeah. And then I found a geneticist report about the DNA structures of the whole planet, of all the humans on the planet, that all of their mitochondrial DNA all came from one place about 100 miles outside of the Ngoro crater, Garden of Eden. And so the migration patterns of all these humans traces back to there. And I thought, right. And looking into it, then I thought, well, where did Adam and Eve go? Omo Valley, that's part of where they found the old skeletons. Did they go there or not? And then in the Arab legends in Saudi Arabia, I found out that they worship a place or honor a place on the west coast of Saudi Arabia, which is the graveyard or the tomb of Eve herself. And Adam's grave is down in the southwest part near Yemen, just across, from North Africa there. And so their legends over there deal with what happened after the Garden of Eden. And
what is that? I mean, where does that lead? I don't know if you've researched down that rabbit hole.
Which one?
Just like what happened, preceding. I think it's interesting that they're not buried together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of that history that's not written. There are some papers in the Quranic group that do give clues about certain things and how Adam and Eve kind of argued in their old age or something. And they also think that let's see, Abel's body is buried in an area in the southwest corner of Saudi Arabia in the Yemen province there. And these are from these Arab legends. Now, the things that happened was, Adamic man was different. His gene structure was different than the normal hominids, the semi-ape men and stuff. That was different. What was created had a different perfect gene structure for a number of reasons. And when they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden and then proceeded to go down the Great East African Rift, down to the Danakil Plains and across the Gulf of the Gulf of Aden into Yemen, from there, Adam and Eve and their children spread out. But they also, some of them, went over into the Indus River Valley of India. And that was because at the time, I'm going to move my hands around here. Let's see, we had Africa here. We had Saudi Arabia here. We had India here. But before the great asteroid impact that caused the Great Flood, before that hit, India snuggled up to Africa. Saudi Arabia snuggled up to all of them. They had rivers separating them. But Cain, when he left the Garden of Eden, he married a woman from over here in the northern Indian province in the Indus Valley. Now, if you look at the Hebrew of the word Indus, it's telling you it's a future tense version of a Hebrew word saying the men shall wander as fugitives. Now, Cain had the red dot mark on his head. In India, they have no idea where they came from. And he settled Harappas and Mohenjo-Daro up the Indus River Valley, with him and his descendants. Now, India, if you look at a number of their ancient Indian words, like the Brahmaputra River, Brahma, Hebrew, Putra, fear of the creator, Brahmaputra. There are a number of ancient Hebrew words that are in India, but this is a problem. If that occurred at the time of the Garden of Eden, or, within 500 years after that or whatever, Hebrew wasn't invented yet.
Oh, that would be a problem.
And look at Moses. What language did he write the tablets in? The Ten Commandments. They didn't have Hebrew at the time. They didn't. In fact, explorers in the region have found that there was Proto-Hebrew, which is some crude symbols, but it then begs the questions: what language was Moses using, or God to Moses, whatever? Because Moses went up and recarved the templates after he broke the first lot. What language? And if it was developed then, that was a long time after the Garden of Eden and after India and the separation of the Great Flood. So I don't know. Anyhow, that led to the migration pattern of the Adamic man down into or up into Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia, a lot of their legends, the Arabic legends, from the desert people, they have been kind of morphed into some of the Hebrew legends. Now, everybody thinks that King Solomon, his name was Solomon, Solomon. Not so. In the Hebrew version, David's son was called Shlomo.
Pack the cooler. Grab the marshmallows. Your fall family escape starts at KOA. Find a campsite near you and book now at KOA.com.
And you don't get Solomon out of that.
Right.
But if you go to the Hittite legends up north of Israel. David's mother, Bathsheba, was a Hittite following the ancient Arab legends of Shalmaneser the Great, the first, second, and third. Now, Solomon, this was where the origin of the English word Solomon came from. It came from the Arabic legends of that guy. And Shalmaneser the first, he was a mighty king in the kingdom there in Saudi Arabia. He had something that made fire.
But wait, there's
armies
more!
and to destroy
These are dying. Our survival depends on them. That's why for our bees to create the pure wave cell. Break through quantum device to help eyes, doubling colonies, boosting honey production naturally. Every jar of pure wave honey fuels this mission. Supporting beekeepers worldwide. Visit bees.com. That's the number 4ourbees.com and use code WITF for 20% off. Save the bees. Save us all!
And we're back.
Aw. That's a good look on you.
Cecil got his hair dyed.
Yeah, I had to get my hair did on break here. I hope it looks good. I did a really good job, I think.
It looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the contrast.
Yeah.
Jenny, I saw you commenting. We were taking a short break, played a clip of Stan talking. If you haven't watched that full episode, go to Rumble. We have 2 full conversations with Stan, or 3 at this point.
Yeah, it
Good
stands
story.
up.
And we're going to try to get him back on. So,
Yep.
stay tuned for that.
Yes, very
You can tell 'em.
interesting
You
guy.
can tell I'm fat because you can see my nips through my shirt.
Did you remember to send Stephen a link?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just
Is he
sure.
is he saying he didn't get
Well,
it?
no, he says he's ready, but I didn't see him hop on.
There
he
he
is.
Whoa.
Hey,
Hey, Stephen.
How
Hey,
are
guys.
you today?
how you doing, brother?
It's Friday. Tomorrow's deer season. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Silver
I'm wearing the wrong hat. You got Stan. I wonder what Stan will think of this.
You guys are late for Halloween.
This is just how I
It's
look.
never too late to start early for next time.
Yeah, we're trying to start a new trend.
Yeah.
Week after.
That's right.
So,
hey, if they
the
can start
day-day and
putting
the
out
dollar short
Christmas
trend.
stuff in early October, then we can talk about Halloween.
Yeah.
through
So
November.
I kind of said this briefly earlier, but this is a different flow for us. So we're kind of flowing from strange news, and every Friday at 8, we're going to flow into strange frequencies,
Oh, yeah.
which is more esoteric, true crime, cryptids, conspiracy theories. We're working on a master list. If you all want us to talk about anything in particular, we totally will. Shoot us a topic. Evan, I don't know if you're still out there. Evan was talking about the 3-eye atlas stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he was actually well informed. He was aware of the Harvard professor's background and stuff.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I just got to say, I mean, I just now put my glasses on and I'm seeing Cecil. I mean, he looks like a Hollywood Thor there. You remember Hollywood Hogan? You know, he had the blonde hair and then the dark beard and stuff.
Yeah.
So, Cecil, Hollywood Thor.
You know what? I just
You're Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. But
no, dude. No, you could totally be the next Witcher. They replaced Henry Cavill, so you're on par with his replacement.
Show her your nails. Jeannie wants to see your nails.
Look at how
I'm so
horrible my hands look.
I just got my hair done.
I just got my hair done. You ain't got no fiestas.
Morgana, what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we're going to talk about strange Latin America. They've got some really cool stuff down there.
Yes.
And I will kick us off.
Cool.
So, and this one creeps me out. And if you haven't ever seen it, definitely you want to go take a look at it. So, south of Mexico City, there is a floating island, and it's covered in dolls.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them hanging from the trees, nailed to the walls, tangled in the vines, cloudy eyes, their hair's rotting, their mouths open like they're screaming. And the story goes that a gentleman named Don Julian found the body of a drowned girl near his home, and soon afterwards he would hear her crying in the night. So to calm her down, he began hanging dolls, offering them to her restless spirit, and he did it for over 50 years. And then one day, Don Julian drowned in the same canal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so now people say that the dolls whisper when the wind stops blowing, that you can still hear that shh, 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 shh. They say that their eyes move, their heads turn, and people say that the entire time they're there, they feel watched.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, look, I've gone and looked it up, and that is one creepy looking thing because, you know, dolls as a general rule.
Show us a picture, Cecil.
You got a picture, Cecil?
No. I'll get one now.
You're the snipper.
Iceland dolls.
Ed totally in on it.
Oh, don't give him ideas.
We need Tully as the man in black investigating the dolls.
Yeah. Well, while he's doing that, you know, I've always wondered why it's called Latin America, and I thought it'd be more exciting than this, but it's called Latin America because countries in the region speak languages that are derived from Latin, namely Spanish, Portuguese, and French.
Huh.
Yeah, no, I never knew that either. I just assumed it was, you know, because they were descendants from Spain, you know, for the most part, or indigenous.
Yeah, it says it was popularized in the 18th century in France, and by none other than Napoleon III.
Oh, wow.
Look at
See,
that.
that is so creepy. I want to know where he got all the dolls.
They just
'Cause they're-
washed up. Most of
No.
Really?
From where?
the ocean.
It's not even. No, stop lying to people, dude.
I don't know.
That's better than feet and tennis shoes washing the shore.
That's true. That is very true. They're trying to say that, oh, well, you know, there are a lot of boating accidents in that area. I'm
Sure.
sorry. I call bullshit. You know, you would have heard a major news story if people were losing their feet to boating accidents off of Washington State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Or a bunch of plane crashes that just have not been reported.
Yeah.
Don't know.
So all
Not
right,
fast
so
enough.
Oh man.
Island of the Dolls. There was one I saw that reminded me of, and this is y'all's fault. I decided to go watch the first episode of It the other day. And when I pulled up these pictures, the first one I saw reminded me of the little monster off of the first episode.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. See what happens when you let him be the person showing pictures.
I'm back here trying to manage our social media. I can't even defend myself right now.
Yeah, but all right. So there we go. The Island of the Dolls, just outside of Mexico City, and you know, they have it fenced off. I also noticed that. So I wonder if that's to keep people from adding to, taking away. Personally, I think if you took something away, you might take more than you expected.
I do think that there's some American ghost hunters that have been there.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you could pay the right amount of money and have that place. Well, Josh Gates has definitely been there, like the Discovery Channel guy.
Right.
But I think that was on that show Expedition Unknown that he had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember when they went there. Ain't that the same place that he found some kind of rare bird?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, he discovered some kind of rare bird on one. I thought might have been that episode. I can't remember.
Okay.
He found when he went to the Himalayas, he found proof of a was it a black bear? Through DNA testing and a footprint cast. Found proof of a bear that they thought was extinct in the Himalayas.
Oh, okay.
So he did do that.
I mean, this is an island that if you just kind of like didn't know it and you was out for a boat ride and you rode up on, this would probably scare you to death.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's one of the things that creeps me out the most is little scary dolls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, a little girl just carrying a doll doesn't bother me. But just seeing a doll sitting there, it's like, okay, before I realized that Annabelle was a Raggedy Ann doll, I could picture it as one of those ceramic dolls and thinking, yeah, they're creepy as hell. It bothered me worse when I found out it was a Raggedy Ann doll because they're supposed to be relatively safe.
You know, we have that doll, the Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got the Raggedy Andy too, though. So it's mellowed out.
Yeah, the last time I was at Mom and Dad's, I realized they had a Raggedy Ann, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no, I don't want one of those in my house. My mom bought my granddaughter her first ceramic doll, and I'm like, no.
I was trying
That's
to
going home with you.
I was trying to do something to be creepy and make Tully look like a porcelain doll, but it came out even more creepy than I imagined.
Well, that's just great, Cecil.
Yeah, that looks so horrified.
So you're going to dream about that tonight. Something's going to be after you, and you're going to look behind you, and it's going to be that doll.
Yeah,
not me.
So,
yeah, you look like a 12-year-old Tully with a beard there.
What else we got?
The Nawal is a shapeshifter from Mesoamerican folklore that can transfer into an animal. And the concept has its roots in pre-Hispanic cultures like the Aztec and the Maya. Depending on the tradition, the Nawales can be seen as beneficial healers or spirit guides, or as malevolent figures who use their power for harm, with their transformation sometimes being tied to a specific animal spirit or tonal. The modern perception is a blend of pre-Hispanic beliefs and later interpretations influenced by the Spanish. They also believe in that same thing that every person has an animal spirit that's like an animal twin.
Oh yeah.
And that's from the same concept of that Nawal.
Well, I think that's deeply embedded in that culture, like even from Aztec, Incas.
Yep.
Which is again crazy that they're calling it Latin America. Like, considering what native cultures existed. Blame Napoleon.
Yeah, because like I said, when I think about, I guess when I really think about Latin America, I think more of the central area, Mexico, Honduras, and everything through there.
Yeah.
But they generally are talking about anything south of Texas when they reference Latin America a lot of times.
I got you.
Yeah, I guess it's whoever happens to be talking about it.
Let me see. Well, I mean, just the basic ones that we've maybe mentioned in the past, like La Llorona, the Weeping Woman, and Wat that people see. That's a very popular folk tale in the region. But that's not the only place that people see women in white that try to drown you when you get too close to the water.
Why is it always by a river?
Yeah, it's always like a. Well, part of me thinks that some of that comes from mer people.
Well, I mean that's very possible too.
If you believe in that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really, really creepy that one in particular because first-hand accounts are usually from American Southwest truck drivers that drive down through that way. Because they cross borders and stuff. They always see her standing next to bridges and stuff like that. and parents and all that good stuff. So
I'm gonna sing that from now on, Crystal.
Yeah, thanks, Crystal. I hate that song. And for the record, yes, all of South America is considered part of Latin America.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So that's wild.
Yeah. Hang on. What was it? Hang on.
Let's
I have one
see.
in front of me.
Well, they have their own version of the Hat Man.
Yeah.
It's called El Charro, and he's a tall man dressed in elegant charro clothes that appears on lonely roads at night. But this is kind of cryptic because he offers money or help to travelers, but accepting it means selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
That's kind of especially like imagine you just get like a homeless person that's walking down the street and they take $10 and you know what I mean? That'd be a bad deal.
Did you say the Mandinga?
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
That's very similar. It's a down Pappas by moonlit roads. He appears at crossroads offering riches, music, and power in exchange for packs sealed in blood.
Where's that at in Latin America?
Let me see.
Because I think this one was
Argentina.
Okay. I think this was a different country.
Yeah. Now they say that Mandinga's roots are tangled as a trickster, part of a European devil, part folk hero in certain communities. Mandinga was once a name for strength, descended from the Mandinka people of West Africa, but in colonial folklore, he morphed into a mysterious figure of temptation and rebellion. A famous story from 1908 tells of guitarist Santos Vega, who met the stranger with fiery eyes. They played a duel of songs under the stars. Vega lost and vanished. So this sounds like a Charlie Daniels song, except he didn't win. But that would be pretty crazy. I'm glad that it transfers over, and it's likely that our legends probably came from these legends.
Yeah, I don't know if I would challenge any celestial being to a game of anything.
No.
It just seems like a lose-lose situation there.
Yeah, I think Johnny just got lucky in Georgia.
He's just that good.
Unless it's like one of those deals where it's like tic-tac-toe and you get to go first. You know what I mean? Like something where you can actually guarantee victory.
I can't remember if it was the devil went back to Georgia or what, but Travis Tritt was in a video with
Marty Robbins, Stewart.
Marty Stewart, yeah, that was one of the best.
That was the devil went back to Georgia.
Yeah, that's one of the best music videos I've ever seen in my life. If you want to go check that out.
Okay. In Colombia, there's El Sombrerion. It's a small man wearing a huge hat, like a huge sombrero. Kind of like all those little figurines of the little person wearing the huge sombrero with the guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's got to be what this is based off of. So it says it's a very small man wearing a huge hat who likes to braid horses' manes and sometimes people's hair while they sleep. But if you offend him, he drives you insane with his constant singing and guitar playing.
I remember something about the hair braiding and the horses being braided, but I don't remember where it had to have been the same people, because I can't imagine that happening elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people attribute that to Bigfoot here in the United States. Oh my goodness, yeah.
I wonder if
Florida,
we got the little people, like the cryptid little people, like gnomes. I wonder if it's like, there's also many Bigfoot too, right?
Yes, there have been several reports of Bigfoot braiding horses' manes. Of course, everything in the Bigfoot world, there's always somebody who will say no, that's it's made up or whatever. It's because of the wind or what have you. But yeah, there are reports of that from I know from the southeast, Florida and Alabama, other places, Oklahoma. Stories that I've heard of people that I know talked about that. It's Harriet McFreely. She has photographs. She has a Bigfoot museum in Nebraska. And she's got some flags that were supposedly torn and braided by Bigfoot.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I'll see if I can find it. Maybe I can get you to send you the link to it. Maybe I can figure it out on the computer. And maybe you can pull up some pictures of it.
Yeah. Well, something else I was thinking about while you were talking. So we always talk about like the closer you get to Canada, the taller Bigfoot is.
Yeah.
And the closer to Florida you get, the smaller they are.
Yeah.
So you would think that the closer you got to the equator, even smaller they might be.
Yeah.
Like down in that area. So it tracks is all I'm saying.
That'd be funny. Like if you went to exactly on the equator and found a Bigfoot, but it was like this big.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
At that point, is it a Bigfoot or is it a tiny feet?
A tiny Bigfoot.
Tiny feet. You can pick it up, cuddle it.
Because I think it would still have a big feet in correlation to its body. You know what I mean?
Those little tootsies would be that big.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the American Bigfoot is generally considered to be between 7 and 9 feet. And the Mexican, the Sisamite, is usually around 5 to 6 feet.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if it's the Sisamate.
Is
it?
That may be it. Sisimite.
I have no idea. I don't know Spanish that well.
Well, neither do I, and I'm not going to attempt to fracture the language any more than I already am.
Oh, I'm going to destroy it tonight.
So,
arrows.
the witches of Catemaco.
Okay.
So, nestled on the shores of Laguna de Catemaco in the state of Veracruz, Mexico, is a small tropical town, and it has become known as the epicenter of witchcraft and spiritual healing in Latin America. It's an area that's got jungles and volcanic hills and misty waters, so it's got that enchanted feel to it. But the roots of the sorcery stretch back centuries before Spanish colonization. So the Olmec, the Teutonic, and the Nahua people who once lived there practiced a form of shamanic magic that centered on nature spirits, healing plants, and the balance between life and death. Then when Catholicism arrived, the older traditions didn't vanish. They actually merged. And out of the fusion, came the Brujas, and it's like a really complex blend of Catholic ritual, indigenous belief, and African spiritualism. And said, today you will find candles of the saints beside jars of herbs and rosaries next to bones and altars dedicated to both Jesus Christ and Santa Muerte. So every March, during the first Friday of Lent, Catemaco becomes a magnetic hub for thousands of people, the curious, the faithful, the frightened, and it's called the Festival Internacional de Brujos, the International Festival of Witches. During those nights, rituals are performed in the open air or deep in the jungle. Brujos, male witches, and brujas, female witches, offer cleansings, hex removals, spells for love, health, and fortune. Smoke from copal and tobacco fill the air, drums echo off the lakes, and under the flickering candlelight, locals say you can feel the power shift like a veil between the world that just got a little bit thinner. So there are 3 types of witches in the Catemaco folklore. White witches, brujos blancos, are the healers and protectors who use herbs, prayers, and rituals for good. Black witches, which are brujos negros, those who work with darker forces, calling on demons or curses for revenge or power. And then you have the gray witches who walk the line between using both light and dark. And there's way more, but I'll leave it there. So,
That's a
but
lot of
I would
flavors.
love to go there. That would be very interesting because, like I said, it's almost kind of like the hoodoo, in the fact that they've blended the different, faiths.
Yeah, Jenny, I'm not sure. I was looking at Jenny's comment. Cecil's the movie man.
Movie man. What's the name of that's Alley Field?
Don't be afraid of the dark.
Fireplace movie. Don't be afraid of the darkness. Oh no, I'd have to look that up.
La Patasola.
All right.
This is a weird one. This is about to get weird. So this is a beautiful siren-like woman that appears to men wandering in the jungle at night. But she has one very distinct feature so that if you're ever wandering in the jungle, if you're seeing this lady or not.
Ooh.
She only has one leg. And the name La Patasola translates into the one-legged woman.
Does she have a backward foot too? There's a lot of backward feet cryptids in Latin America.
This doesn't say backwards foot, but it says that from afar she is strikingly beautiful. And then once it's too late, she reveals herself as a monstrous woman with fangs and glowing eyes. And she attacks. I think this makes it seem like she only reveals herself to unfaithful men or intruders in the forest.
Ooh.
So I wonder how she gets around.
Hops.
Yeah, wouldn't everybody be an intruder to the forest though?
So tell me what you were saying is that she has that distant beauty.
Yeah. Yeah, distant beauty.
You know what sucks about that? Imagine you're just some dude faithfully married and you go out into the woods and get caught by this woman. They're gonna be like, oh, he was unfaithful when you was just accidentally intruding into forest.
Well, I don't think it means I think it means
going in and chopping down the holy trees and
intruding, not just passing through.
Okay.
From the flying nun. Yeah.
So
good.
In northern Mexico, in the Durango's desert, is La Zona del Silencio, the silent zone. So radios die, compasses spin, no birds, no insects. It's pure silence.
Yeah.
And people also talk about there being strange lights in the sky. They lose hours walking for miles and no memory of where they've been. And said that in the 70s, a NASA missile crashed here by accident. And ever since, everybody says that something changed. They don't know if it's magnetism, but some people think it's a doorway.
Oh, nice. That's one place I've always wanted to go because it would be so interesting just to be somewhere where it's pure silent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's a pretty popular place. And it's strange because Latin America has that, and they also have the place where there's a constant hum too.
Yeah, I agree, Crystal.
So that's wild stuff.
You always hear about in the silent circles and stuff that people find in the woods that there's an electric static in the air almost.
I can confirm.
Yes, Cecil's actually seen one.
Yeah, I walked right into the middle of one. Nothing was growing there. It was just a big blank circle of ground. And when I walked into it, it felt almost like static electricity running through my whole body. It was weird. Couldn't hear anything outside of it. It's nuts.
Couldn't get abducted.
Couldn't get abducted.
Maybe you did get abducted and they just wiped your memory.
No, I was with somebody. They was with me the whole time.
Maybe you both got abducted.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh.
Yeah, hey, I just found one of those backward feet things you were talking about, Cecil.
Those things remind me of the cynocephaly, like the Augustae of Hippo stuff.
There is a lot of cryptids in Latin America that have the backwards feet. Let's see, I've got a list here. Let's see.
Yeah. Now you were talking about the one with backward feet, but now La Lechuza, the bird woman. Have you talked about her?
No, we haven't talked about her. I don't think.
Supposedly she's 7 feet tall.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
get crushed by the bird woman.
Yeah, she's like a
Some
7
people
foot.
might be seeking her out.
No kidding.
Anywho,
Yeah, she's a 7 foot owl with a woman's face, whose
Nice.
cries can be heard. Similar to what yours was, enticing victims to wander into her clutches. So,
okay.
but now also in Mexico, they had videos that came out years ago, about the flying humanoids. So
Yes. Oh, I did a whole TikTok about that.
yeah,
Let me see.
So the Mapinguari is the one that I found. It said it's a creature covered in red hair, 7 feet tall, with backward feet and a mouth on its stomach.
Let's
They-
see
Yeah.
Google too. Let's
Yeah.
see Google.
yeah,
They say it smells like rotting flesh and that the earth shakes when it walks. Bullets can't pierce its hide. Some say it was once a shaman who defied the gods. Others say it's the last of the ancient ground sloths.
Mm-hmm.
And said explorers still find massive claw marks on trees higher than any bear could reach.
The ancient sloth.
Mhm.
That would be a terrifying creature, I believe, because they wasn't slow, was they?
No,
They
the
were
ancient ones supposedly were. It's kind of like the difference in the zombies and I Am Legend and the Romero ones.
I can't remember what I heard it on. It was probably a podcast or something, but apparently in Latin America, I believe somewhere in Mexico, they found some preserved footprints from thousands of years ago.
Mhm.
And it looked like a lady running with a child beside her, like just running away in one particular line. And right behind them was the tracks of a giant sloth.
Mhm.
And then at one point, they all three stopped and walked back, but it was just a woman and the giant sloth walking back in the direction they were running from.
oh,
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
so that right there would almost make you wonder, if it was some type of a shapeshifter, shaman shapeshifter who required a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their thought was that it was some kind of calamity that happened in their village or something, and like all the animals and stuff had bolted that way, but those were only 3 sets of tracks they found.
Mhm.
So who knows? I would really love for Tully to share his time machine so that we can go back and look at stuff like this.
Yeah,
From a safe distance, right?
Yeah.
From a safe distance.
Yep, exactly.
I swear, every time I try to get into the August of Hippo stuff, it gets harder and harder to find this stuff out in the wild, like on the interwebs.
Yeah. Have you all heard of the La Tundra in Colombia and Ecuador?
No.
You want to
Tell
talk
us.
about your thing first, Tully? Or did you
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So on the Pacific coast rainforests of Colombia are thick and alive monkeys, cicadas, and sometimes something else. Fisherman Manuel Castillo told in an interview in 1977, I followed my mother into the mangroves, but when she turned, her face was wrong. The smell of rock came from her mouth. She needs to brush her teeth, bro. But anyway, that was the La Tundra, a shape-shifting forest. A forest that shapeshifts.
Forest?
Who mimics the voice or appearance of someone you love to lure you away. And when it captures you, it feeds you camarones, and caudillos, enchanted shrimp, that make you her slave forever. So the indigenous lore describes her as part woman, part decaying thing, with one leg ending in a twisted stump or a wooden spoon. She is said to live deep in the mangroves where her mist never lives. So some say she punishes disobedience. Others think she's the jungle's revenge for colonization, a mother spirit gone feral. So it's a forest that shape shifts. She can be a forest or something that
She can be a forest.
Yeah, she can be a forest. That'd be a good song. Baby,
I was
you
thinking
can be a
that too.
forest.
No, it be country. It's got to be more folky.
Okay. Yeah, I can do That's a unique one. I've never heard that, but locals say that when you go in there to carry tobacco and sing Carl Lou songs of rhyme and protection to keep the La Tundra at bay. What do you think of that?
That's wild. Okay. I found it.
Okay.
It took me a long time, but this is from hang on, I'll share. Da 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 da.
Da, 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 da. Ouch.
So this is one of the creatures that supposedly had backwards feet that is from the same like Nuremberg Chronicle. Like this was post August of Hippo, but talking about the same island. This is the same island where do you remember the cryptids that had the body with the face in the middle of the body?
Yes.
This is from the same island. Hang on a sec. I'll let me see if I can get that picture too. And there's one called the Aberrimon. Did you say that already? There's a backwards foot cryptid called the Aberrimon.
To the Twitch streamer that asked what the stream is about, we are now in the segment covering high strangeness of Latin America.
Yeah. Akin, this is as the title says, it's conspiracy chat / crazy talk, and right now we're talking about crazy stuff in Latin America. That's what I put on our streams on there, by the way. Crazy talk.
Cool.
So this is the cryptid that I was referencing. You got the Cenocephaly, and these guys have names too, but these are just you're totally cool.
You're fun.
Totally fun. We talk about crazy stuff every week. So if you want to hear some crazy history, stuff like that, hang out.
Oh yeah.
And then I always think this is weird that there's one with a Bigfoot.
Uh-huh.
Makes
Anyway.
it stable.
Sorry to derail the conversation. I just thought it's relevant.
No, it's cool. I wish I had a face in the middle of my stomach.
Then you would have to eat. Where would your stomach be?
Where my face is.
Well, on Mrs. Peregrine's children, the unusual children, I forget the name of it, but anyway, she had the one little girl that ate from the back of her head.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's the episode of Squidbillies where she's trying to lose weight, the mom, and she cuts a hole in the back of her throat, so when she eats, all the food just falls out the back, and she gets skinny. Not the same, but
not even close.
That's pretty
So-
cool.
I was thinking the Eddie Murphy joke, the Eddie Murphy Yo Mama joke.
Mhm. So El Cuco or El Viejo del Saco. That they think that the story may have originated in Spain, but
these are real stories.
Yeah, it's
These are real stories. We don't know if they're real or not, but we do go out and investigate these sort of
Right.
things.
Well, on this one, like I said, it's very popular in Latin America, and this one parents actually use to get their children to behave. So, according to legend, Francisco Ortega, also known as El Maruno, was a man sick with tuberculosis at the beginning of the 20th century. He was desperately looking for a cure for the disease, so he sought help from curandera. She told him he would be cured by drinking the blood of children and rubbing fat on his chest. So he kidnapped a 7-year-old boy in a cloth bag to slit his underarm and drink his blood. He is known for walking up and down the streets at night with a black bag, scouting for those children who roam the streets or misbehave.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I guess that would scare children, but
right, you know,
I'm sure it's rooted in some sort of truth.
Right, exactly. You know, and that's why they use it. You know, if you're not good, then he's going to come get you. We don't know if it's real. That's the thing about it is, but it's according to legend.
Yeah, some of these are legends. Some of them are like cryptids that people see a lot, ghosts. Usually when we cover like tonight, we're covering Latin America, but we try to hit like strange places, cryptids, lore, legends, stories, and sometimes we talk about food.
Yep, that's right. We got to get
Well,
food in there.
Well, that right there reminds me of what they used to do to my youngest daughter. My wife used to do it to her whenever she was acting up. She would always tell her, "I'm going to call the little girl police on you."
Little girl police.
The little girl police. They were actually.
Let's see. Well, and again, normally, like sometimes we'll show the comments. We can't because just the way the tiles are laid out tonight. But
you can. It go right over me. I'm fine with it.
You didn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Akin is on Twitch right now, Crystal.
Yeah, that'll cover Cecil's face big
time. Yeah, we can't do that.
No, go ahead.
Wait, hold on, hang on.
That might be a little.
Now, let's do that.
Here, trade places with me, Cecil.
Yeah, you can. Cecil can scoot over a little bit.
I'll scoot over a little bit.
That work? Okay, cool.
Here, I put my arm around you.
Let's see.
I just discovered you can make the font bigger.
Maybe we should keep it that way. That way, when we get a spam comment, it can get buried quick.
Yeah.
So La Luz Mala, which it translates to the evil light. This is in Argentina. It's a mysterious floating light that people see that appear in rural areas at night.
Rural. That's my favorite word.
I thought that said coochie, Landa.
We are afraid of the coochie.
Yes. So the evil light is said to be the soul. People think it's the soul of an unburied person or hidden treasures that are protected by curses that that people place on it. Those who try to follow the light, though, get lost or die via mysterious circumstances.
Yeah.
You think these things ever like meet each other out in the wild, like a Bigfoot meets La Llorona? You know what I mean? Like
is when Bigfoot and La Llorona walks into a bar.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's kind of like, occasionally you'll see, and this one is not a good example, but the Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, the ghosts all talk to each other and stuff.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Why not?
And that I always had that same thought with like these slashers. Like, what if Jason walks into Michael Myers? Do they just nod at each other, or what happens?
Yeah, or like Dogman and Bigfoot. I know the actuality of that, but I mean, if it, just as an example, like Bigfoot and like Chupacabra, you know what I mean? Like what happens? Like is there an exchange, or do they just?
Okay, so down in my area, it's the skunk ape, not so much the Sasquatch or anything like that, but where those two areas meet, do they ever come across each other?
Yep, and you'll find territorial markers sometimes.
Right.
Which may be a 45-foot long tree laid across other trees.
Yep.
As a show of yes, I'm this big, bad, and strong.
Yeah, I just what if you're walking through the woods and you come across like a world war of cryptids that have crossed each other's territory? Like, what are you doing in that situation?
Yeah. Turn around, slowly walk
or
away.
they're having a big convention. Somebody sent me something today. I forgot to send it. I'll find it later and get it. It was talking about, I've been working on my apothecary, and they sent me a thing that said, you need to plant these kinds of flowers for pollinators, and the Mothman likes them too.
Speaking
Really?
of pollinators, so this morning when I woke up, my eyes were swollen shut.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I was draining stuff all day. And I started getting to bed around 2 or 3, and now it's starting to pile back up. Why does that happen at night?
Is it storming?
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with it. Barometric pressure, but
Around 2 or 3, I was like, oh, I'm better now. Now I'm starting to get clogged back up.
yeah, for
Well,
speaking of
well, John,
pollinators, we got the pure wave honey for
Yeah.
anybody that is interested in getting some good honey.
At
Yeah.
4rbs.com.
Stand right
the
there.
It's
number
a-
4, rbs.com.
It's this one.
Yeah.
No, it's
this
not.
one.
That's buy me a coffee. It's this one.
This is Bobby a coffee.
No, this
You're
is
backwards.
yeah, this is buy me honey over here. But
This says, get the honey on mine.
but it's at 4rbs.com, the number 4, the letter rbs.com, promo code WITF. So what were we talking about?
yeah.
I'm working on a new
Well,
sponsor.
Y'all were talking about if they cross paths.
Uh-huh.
Now, this comes from somebody that I know. And there are also creatures besides Dogman and Bigfoot. There are also some creatures called Gugway.
Mhm.
And these are more like the face eaters or something like that. They kind of look like a Dogman a little bit. They kind of look like a Bigfoot a little bit.
That's a cuddly name.
Yeah, it's a cuddly name. That's one you want to. Yeah, you don't want to have dreams about those either.
How do you distinguish them though? Like if you're just out in the woods, like how would you know to like turn back?
Man, I'll send you. I think I've got the picture. I'll send you a picture. My buddy took one. Kind of like the Beast of Seven Shoots. Might qualify as a Gugway, or they call it a dog man. I don't know. It might qualify as a Gugway. But yeah, they don't. The Bigfoot do not get along with those, and they will kill them when they come into their area, from what I've been told.
So the Gugway would be more feral than the Bigfoot.
How do you spell
Yeah.
that?
Gugwe.
Oh, that's weird. Jenny said apple sprots whisper in Dogman and Bigfoot's ears.
Mm.
Apple Sprats. So that would be like the Fae?
APLE sprots. Apple, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not familiar. Somebody's gonna have to look that Apple sprots up. That's interesting, Jenny. You're always dropping crazy stuff in the chat. I
Oh, yeah.
love it. Love it.
So in Nicaragua, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, according to the Nicaraguan legend of La Macuana.
What is it with all these women? 7 foot tall
Evidently-
women.
In Latin America, they're a big thing. So
Bird women.
the story goes that the beautiful daughter of a local chief fell in love with a Spanish conquistador and decided to show him where her father had stored all of his treasure. As to be expected, the conquistador immediately betrayed the princess, stealing all the gold and locking the heartbroken girl in the cave. Although the princess escaped from the cave, she was driven mad by the betrayal of her lover and decided to seek her revenge. Ever since, people say a tall lady with her face covered by long black hair appears on local roads and lures men to follow her to her cave, never to be seen again.
Nice.
It ain't my fault. I didn't lock you in the room. I mean, come on now.
I'm way
Okay,
more progressive
But
than that.
any time a strange woman in a foreign country tries to lure you somewhere, walk away.
Yeah, same with the lady who turns into a forest or whatever, the one-legged lady.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'm happily married, lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do none of this.
I'm not going anywhere with you. Then
Well,
she
you
pull out
know,
some sweet merch, and I'll be like, all right, let's go buy some merch then.
Yeah.
so, a lot of times, there are people who, dump y'all all into one category, all men, just like there are some that go all women. So, you just have to take it for what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think social media has been very bad for that. Like
yeah.
People get a lot of clicks for man and or woman hating.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My favorite are the ones who I heard one yesterday talking about that women should stay home. That it is their job to stay home and let men take care of them. And they don't need to be going out with their friends. They need to stay home and take care of the kids and the family. And I'm like, dude,
You know what Rachel would say to that?
Yeah, probably
She-
about the same thing as me.
Well, at this point in her life, she'd probably be like, absolutely. Because we don't have any responsibilities like that. She'd be like, yeah, I'll kick back and watch TV or whatever.
I tell Dandy all the time, I'm like, all you gotta do is get a job paying $200,000 a year, and I'll stay here all day, cook you dinner, clean this
Clean
house.
the house. Yeah. The house would be spotless.
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 Spotless. That's my dream.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not a dream. It's not my dream, but
It's my dream. Yeah, it's my dream.
I can't get through a full week's vacation or staycation because I am bored to death after 2 days. So I don't know how I would survive as a stay-at-home parent. I tried it a couple of times throughout my children's lives, and it did not last long.
we didn't get to the story, but I think a big thing is like video games that people can just like chill a lot these days.
Yeah.
But in the news headlines this week, one of the big gaming competitors, Xbox, they got a new CEO recently, and the CEO says that their next new system is going to be $1,200. So
Yeah, PC.
$1,200.
It's going to be an ultimate gaming system. Yeah, for sure.
But to put this into perspective, you can get a 1 terabyte, 32 gig RAM, like latest processor at this point for like $400. Why would you spend $1,200 for something that's going to perform less than a good PC?
I don't know. Why would you?
I think they're trying to tank the company and file for bankruptcy.
I just bought a brand new Mac that is kick ass and only spent $1,400.
I got a sweet PC. Now I don't want to talk about how much I spent.
Yeah, but I just can't, especially when other consoles are way more competitive.
I got a laptop, but it's an impressive one.
It is impressive.
I do it because I do things on the go,
Yeah.
Well,
we still need to film or like have a podcast in a graveyard somewhere sometime.
Anytime.
So, y'all should come down and actually come see me.
That's an atrocity. Like that's the equivalent of
Hey, it's Mandy's fault.
straight to jail.
We could all, go hang out like at the cemetery next to Beauvoir. I bet you that's got some ghosts and stuff in it. Beauvoir is the home of Jefferson Davis.
Okay.
It's where he died at.
Oh, shoot. We haven't plugged this at all. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a paranormal investigator on the show. Most of you have not been here long enough to have seen her. She was one of our very first guests on Where in the Folk 5 years ago. She is a Native American paranormal investigator in Nevada. And she recently, last weekend, went and investigated the infamous Clown Motel in Nevada. And she's going to join tomorrow to tell us all the tea of that investigation.
The tea and wine.
And Caitlin from Unbound Underground.
Caitlin's awesome.
And we'll have her plug all of her stuff. But if you're interested in the paranormal, you're interested in like real investigation and Native American medicine,
Mhm.
you got to be here tomorrow at 8, or if you can't, at least watch the show back.
Yep. And Caitlin also does mediumship by
Oh, yeah.
automatic drawing.
Yep, she does automatic drawing. She does personal, like one-on-one sessions for people who are struggling. She has a lot of expertise in cleansing houses and places,
Mhm.
and has like an infinite amount of crazy stories. So that's going to be a great show.
Yep. Yes, it is. So last week, happened every century.
Yep. So come on back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I always like talking, Caitlin. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's one guest that I have met in person, and
When
she's
did
the
you
real.
meet her in person?
She came to investigate Bobby Mackey's when it was still standing.
Oh,
I almost accidentally came this close to meet one of our guests in person at the Mothman Festival, but luckily I seen them in time to go the other way.
Who?
I'll tell you later.
Never mind. I probably know. But yeah, Caitlin came to investigate Bobby Mackey's, and we had lunch and talked about some off the screen stuff, and it's just it made me that much more a believer in her abilities. Like, she really is legit.
yeah.
The real deal.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, that sounds good, Jenny. Join tomorrow night if you can.
Have a great night, Jenny.
Thanks for hopping in, Jenny.
I forget she's got to stand outside to get service.
It's not worth that, Jenny. Not during this. We appreciate you coming on, though.
Yep. So El Cadejo, the two dogs. So they say two dogs walk the roads at night, one white, one black. The white Cadejo protects travelers and drunks who've lost their way. The black Cadejo waits for those who've done wrong. Its eyes glow red, its hooves burn the ground where it walks. And if it follows you home, you'll hear its claws on the doorstep night after night until madness takes you. The white Cadejo will still save you if your soul's not too heavy. Two spirits, two choices, and every night traveler must choose which one follows them home.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Mm.
That's terrifying.
Yes, it is.
I've got a weird, this is hilarious how you say this name. So I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong. It's called the fish taco.
Oh yeah. It's fish, like fish.
Well, I'm saying fish, and it's in Peru, but it's a vampire that kills people just to steal their fat.
Yeah.
There was a Doctor Who episode about something that did that, but it was this little squishy thing that was so cute, and then it killed you, taking your fat away.
There's actually a pretty good story with this one. In the 1980s, account from the Akuchu shepherds claimed that an American engineer had came down there to their village asking questions to
Me
get
too, Lando.
oil extraction. And a few weeks later, they found the man dead in the hills. His body drained of fat, no blood, no struggle. And the Adine people, fat and weir is sacred, the essence of life and energy. And the pistachio, I think it's pistachio myth began during the Spanish conquest when colonists surrendered human fat for gun oil and medicine. But today the story mutates to pistaco, I believe is what it is.
Fish taco.
Yeah. It's said to sell fat to cosmetic companies or trade it for power. So this is a cryptid that's out there just ripping people off. Like, I'm going to suck all your fat out and sell it to this lip injection company.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking last show about the Ozempic being Gila monster venom and angler fish venom, I think, is the other one.
Yeah.
Really?
He's in danger. I am FUCT, Linda.
Just imagine, like, it's not that much more far-fetched than being like, if they called it what it really was, it'd be like, okay, you could take this Gila monster venom, or you could just have this little cute monster
There's
take it on away.
There's a show about that. I don't know if it's American Horror Stories, like the anthology, not the one which one's episode, or maybe even a episode of X-Files, or maybe Supernatural or something.
It was X-Files.
Yeah,
I think it was X-Files because it was like the 90s graphics.
Because they take this monster and like these little things that, and
It was definitely X-Files. Definitely X-Files.
They put them on them and it sucks the fat out of them and makes them skinny. And there's also one of the anthology movies I watched where they have something like that, but at the end the thing had laid all its eggs in everybody, and the eclipse made the egg sprout and everybody blew up and stuff. I can't remember the damn movie.
Hey, there was a Supernatural episode because they went to a spa, and Sam was like a nurse, and Dean was a janitor or something.
That's it. That's what this is probably based off of.
Yeah,
because they said they got the creature from South America.
Yeah,
Right.
Crystal. They're all either Gila or anchorfish, I think. Anglerfish. Sorry, the big scary looking fish.
But it ended up being too. I'm going back to Supernatural. That episode, the woman that was sucking the fat was only doing it to survive because she had to have it to live. It was somebody else that was actually killing people.
Yep. Her brother, I think, or something like that.
Might have been.
Yep. So she was this thing.
Yes, she was.
Awesome.
So
That's why Supernatural's such an awesome show.
It was amazing. I think it could have ran another 18 seasons.
Yeah. See, that's my biggest hang up with AI is I have seen more movie and TV show, advertisements. Oh, it's been, approved. They're going to have a new episode of this, or they're going to show this new movie. And you're like, they're lying their asses off.
What would be
it's always
cool,
the
though,
ones I like that they want to
I've got a serious question for everybody. Are you a Sam girl or a Dean girl? I'm totally a Dean girl.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Sam, but I'm going to tell you, honest to God, if it weren't for Dean, I'm a Crowley girl. I love Crowley.
Crowley was a cool character.
He's
He was
always
a great
been one
character.
of my favorite characters.
You're a Dean girl or Sam girl, Steven?
He might be a Charlie boy.
I think
Charlie.
I think if they can get them to do it, like maybe in like 20 years, bring them back.
Oh yeah, when they're old men.
Yeah, like when they're like, I don't know, beekeeping age. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Bring them back and do another 8 seasons and then pass it off to somebody younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really dread if they ever bring it back because they ended the series properly.
They did.
Or you
As
could
much
bring
as
them
it
back
broke
as
my
like
heart.
Yeah.
you could bring them back at least as like something, and
Mhm.
it'd be a new generation of hunters.
Yeah.
Just like they did I thought, and this is going to sound stupid, so bear with me here, but how they did the Karate Kid and they brought back Cobra Kai, they brought back almost all the original cast that's still alive.
I really like that show.
Me too.
Mo did too. I
Love
never.
that show.
I didn't watch it. I was
I
never
did.
okay. I'm not a huge Ralph Macchio fan. I wasn't in the 80s and 90s when he was popular. And to me, he's the same person as he was then, so I still don't like him.
He's
Mo
not, though.
loved it.
He's not. Cobra Kai was chef's kiss of a show. It started good, the middle was good, and it ended well.
Yeah, like I said, Mo loved it. I mean, when he came in on the weekends or 2 weeks later, the first thing he did was sat down and watched an episode or two of it.
Yeah.
So,
That's one show. Like I stood up when it was done, and I was like, "This was amazing! Like this whole experience was amazing."
but I can say I did see the originals. I can't say that with a lot of stuff because Alan has been posting the last few weeks, pick a movie, and he'll put like 3 or 4 up there. Half of them, I've not seen any of the 3 he's put up there.
No.
Or a lot of them I've seen one, so I can pick real easily.
There is one thing that they touched base on in Cobra Kai that I've always thought, and it was that Daniel did in fact cheat to beat Johnny because a front kick was illegal.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, and what I was going to say, Morgana, if you hate him, then you might love the show because a lot of the show is geared toward hatred for him.
Yeah, about how he's a dick.
I would say even if you didn't like the Karate Kid, you would love the show.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, I've caught bits and pieces of it with him, and that's funny because the girl that plays his daughter is a type 1 diabetic. So he actually started following her, and she would talk about, well, here's what I have to do if I decide I want to have cake. Evidently, her favorite food is cake in real life. She's like, okay, I have to check my blood pressure, blood sugar. And if it's not low enough, I have to take insulin. Then I have to do this, this, and this. So I got more diabetic advice from my husband following this girl on social media, So like I said, I always get tickled about stuff like that. And like of all the things, we were sitting one time and talking about the Norwegian, Loki and Thor and Odin and that whole cast of, gods. And something was said about Loki, and Mo just starts spouting off all this stuff. I'm like, how the hell do you know that? I know that, but how do you know that? And he goes, Son of the Mask. And I'm like, oh my God.
Son of the Mask? Really?
Son of the Mask. Evidently, the beginning of the story is this backstory about Loki.
Nice.
And that's where he got the information from. And I'm like, wow, I'm impressed.
Son of the Mask. One of the worst sequels ever made.
Look, I am not a Jim Carrey fan. Okay, I don't like stupid funny.
I love it.
I don't like Mike Myers. I don't like Jim Carrey.
What?
Huh?
So Wayne's World and Dumb and Dumber, they're just not even on the list for you.
No party time. Excellent.
No, I can't.
I think the closest thing to that in today's time is Tim Robinson.
Oh,
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson's hilarious, but it's that kind of humor where it's like very blatant humor.
When I played, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just like I was going to bring up the Starbucks thing where how everybody does the pay it forward thing. Somebody's like, somebody paid for your coffee. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, I want to pay for the person behind me. And then there's nobody behind him. So he pulls around real quick and goes, gets behind the person who would be behind him. And he goes, 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55, orders everything. And gets behind the person that's about to pay it forward for him.
See, I don't like the pay it forward thing. If you're in line at Starbucks, you can afford your coffee. Go to a school and pay for a kid's lunch. But no, I don't. Give me Bill Murray or that group of comedians. I love them.
Stripes was one of the most stupid funny movies there ever was. It's great.
It wasn't the same stupid as Mike Myers, though.
Whenever I played football, getting my belly was my tagline whenever I made a good tackle.
I'm sorry, but I will tell you, there is one Jim Carrey movie. I accidentally caught it from the beginning, and had I realized it was him, I probably would have changed the channel, called The Majestic.
Oh, I love that one.
That is one of the best movies I have ever seen, and it's not a comedy.
What's that about?
It's a drama.
Oh,
it's at World War One,
World War II.
World War II. This guy's son has gone missing in World War II. Well, Jim Carrey has an accident, has amnesia, and shows back up in that town, and that's their son. Yeah. And they had a movie theater called The Majestic that had been shut down, and they decided to bring it back.
That's kind of right.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm trying not to give much away, though.
No, that's good enough. Maybe I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a film producer, and at the very beginning, he gets blacklisted because he went to some kind of rally to meet a girl one time, and then he gets in the wreck and shows up in this town, and they say, oh, "There's your boy." And it's good. You'll cry. Totally, you'll cry like a little girl.
It is. It's a really good movie. Highly recommended. Highly recommended.
Well, yeah, our Friday night activities, me and Cecil used to be to go somewhere and just watch movies. Like we'd get off work and just go watch movies somewhere.
Did you ever go to a drive-in?
No. I don't mean like together as a couple.
No.
Well, no. I'm just asking you, as a child, did you ever go to the drive-in?
Go to the movies, be like, we'll take a couple's combo, bro.
Yeah, we'll take a.
What was hilarious?
I'm not above it.
I'm not
We
either.
had this huge drive-in. Okay. At the end of the road I lived on, we were not allowed to drive that way because it literally does this number and there are gullies on each side. So my dad, when we started driving, is like, do not go that way. You have to go the other way. But when I was a kid, it was at the end of that road. And occasionally my mom and dad would go to their friend's house that lived out past the theater to play cards on a Saturday night. Well, at midnight on Saturday night, they had skin flicks. So
Sweet.
you were supposed to be asleep, but if you timed it just right when they were going home from the card game, you'd see naked people up on because there was no way to hide it. I mean, it's a drive-in. But
That's crazy. That's wild, actually.
That's where I saw Love at First Bite, was at the drive-in with my parents.
I don't know if they still do this in Florida, but when we lived in Florida and I was a little kid, we used to drive by this strip club where the women were outside in their uniforms with signs trying to get people to come into the strip club. Like they were working like their songs and whatnot. I remember that like it's yesterday. They did it in broad daylight, like 3 o'clock special.
You gotta do the food. Like there's the one in Lexington that has like excellent lunch menu. Like you gotta draw people in with the food.
I think they got
80-cent wings. I mean, where are you getting 80-cent wings these days?
On Thursdays at 2 you get free wings, I hear.
Where?
You hear, huh? Okay,
on that note, thanks for joining our TED Talk where we derail into the black hole at the end of the show.
All right, oops. But yeah, tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern as we speak with Caitlin Crawford from Unbound Underground, one of our favorite people.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and like, subscribe, leave a little heart emoji, whatever you gotta do to try to boost us wherever you are. Send me money.
No, go buy honey. WITF for a 20% discount.
I'm working on another sponsor. I don't want to say anything, but we might have a cool sponsor on the horizon.
It's not Blue Balls, is it?
It's not. What did you just say?
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew is okay.
It's not Blue Chew.
Morgana,
it's okay. If they want to sponsor us, I'm fine with that.
When you get Blue Chew, you know you made it.
Morgana, since Mo's a truck driver, I actually know a truck driver that's a CB handle.
I've seen them hanging from the back of pickup trucks around here.
All right, y'all. I'm calling it on that note.
Yeah.
Hit all the buttons. Give us a follow.
Yeah. No, thank you all for watching us because we're watching you.
Blue ball.